Hey everybody, welcome to Goose's Wrestling Pod. I'm not doing better. I'm probably gonna die soon, but I can talk more about wrestling. Sorry for how short last week is. Kyle, how you feeling?
Well, better than you, so can't complain. Can't complain.
I wanted to get a go out to dinner with my family for 1 year in California, but I'm in the mood for steak, but I cannot choose steak right now. So I guess we'll go for my 1 year and 2 month anniversary. I don't know,
Hey,
like
why not? Why not? The year has passed. You can always celebrate a little later. If
yeah,
AJ
so
Styles
hard.
can have a year-long retirement, maybe, kinda, we don't know. You can eat steak in 2 months.
You know what? I can turn heel on my family and act like I didn't do it in August.
Exactly.
Like, what are you talking about? I turned heel. I didn't turn heel. Before we start, I don't know what happened, but the internet suddenly hates AJ Lee. They suddenly say she was overrated. She's not very good. I will say, her promo on Monday did it thrill me. Not overrated. I don't think so. I think that you have to be in the context of the time. I do think her promo. The problem I had with her promo was saying that she did more than Becky Lynch. That's kind of like Ricky Morton saying to Steve Austin, I did more than you. I mean, come on. We all love Ricky Morton, and he's very important in his time, but he's not Steve Austin. But I don't know. I think my main problem with her is that a lot of the appeal of the character was that she was flirtatious and she acted young and this that, and she can't do that. She's a married woman now. So I think the character needs to evolve, maybe this match. I also think she kind of was pressured back into wrestling. I don't really think she wants to be back. I think the money though was too good and Punk was on her back. So she's kind of doing this just to do it, but um I don't think her heart's into it. I think if she had her way, she never would have came back to wrestling. What is your take on AJ Lee and why do you think the internet suddenly hates her, especially Square Circle Reddit suddenly hates her?
Oh yeah. Every time I'm on Square Circle Reddit, there's like one post I kind of want to look at, and I want to see the replies, and then there's like 30 replies to the first post, and then like in there, like there's people arguing over that. Like you have to keep scrolling till you see the next person's like new post. I'm just like, oh my God, like this is ridiculous. It's like threads. But with AJ, I think yeah, it is a product of time. She it's not 2012 anymore, 2013, when like the hot nerd, the hot, even crazy quote unquote nerd was like a thing. And I think she is kind of stuck in that. Like you can hear with her promo cadence, the line, like I got the line, but it also it's kind of like a little very like disrespectful to what the other women have done. It's almost like a heel promo. And I think her dance partner here, Becky's not Becky right now. She is this like Trump impressionist. So you have two characters who just like are not gelling well. You have like an Obama character and a Trump character, like from two different like 2012 or not even not 2012. Yeah, 2012 and 2025, 2026 going at it, and it's just not gelling. Maybe it'll gel in the ring, but I think both people need character changes. I think Becky needs to beat AJ's ass and get her motivated, like at the show. Even if she loses the title or gets herself disqualified or something, AJ needs an ass beating to get motivated to have this match at WrestleMania because otherwise, this is kind of just awkward.
Yeah, and I think Becky needs to move on. I think the money match, if she can still move, is Lita versus AJ. I know they're not going to do that, but that's.
Oh no, this would be a disaster.
Can you imagine AJ's about to beat Becky and a masked woman comes out of the crowd and it's Becky Lynch? I'm sorry, it's Lita. That'd be
Yeah.
hilarious. Um,
Honestly,
I think
let's see if you can throw. I mean, if this isn't working, and you have the access to the Trish Stratuses, the leaders of the world, because AJ, in the eyes of some, said some disrespectful stuff. What about Trish? What about Lita? What about other people that are maybe underneath Becky, that are like on there with someone from NXT? Um, you can Natalia even. Natalia is has Natty has a new character. She was there for all of this, and she's getting disrespected. So you can
Yeah.
spin this if the singles match is not working, and not AJ and Maxine versus Natalia Becky. That I don't want to see that at WrestleMania. But no disrespect to Maxine,
But no.
but you
I
can
also think
definitely like add some juice to it.
I also think that they rushed her back. I think that she was training for a Mania return this summer. They got the
Mm,
ESPN deal. They backed up a truck of money to her and Punk's apartment for Wrestlepalooza. And she went, yeah, but I have commitments. And they're like, fine. And Triple H's way of extending a storyline is just having the person vanish for a long time until he's
yes.
ready for the date he wants to match. And I kind of feel like she would have benefited, even if she was just going to TV to cut promos, or even have like a mini feud with like I was about to say Sonya Deville, she's not there. Um, a mini feud with like I don't know Blake Monroe, somebody. Um, I think she would have benefited from that, but she hasn't been on TV since November. She just came back with no fanfare. Maybe being in the Rumble would have helped her because then she would have rehearsed a lot of different women. It's
Mm.
just she's had two matches and she's just half the time she's home. And a lot of the backlash he's getting what Brock Lesnar got his first year back is like this guy isn't as good as I remember. They're not, but like I do feel like you need to actually be there. And she was away for a long time, and I think like even as of a year ago, she didn't want to come back. I don't think she gave a shit.
No, I think there was a lot of factors that went into it. Them saying that the environment changed, money, ESPN. It almost feels like once they got to ESPN, the downfall of WWE. I mean, they're doing great financially, but the downfall is like creatively is just like so evident because the shows, the week to weeks are not that interesting. Like I see the vision and I'm like, oh, and then like I'm making sure I'm doing something else while that's on. Even a match like Penta and Grana, the Americano, which on paper is a good match, and they put on a good match. You're just like not emotionally invested. So I think in AJ's case, she needed to be there. I know people were saying she was grieving her dog. We don't know that for sure, but that's what people were saying. So she was gone for a while because of Larry, and then there's no explanation. Like you were saying, there should be at least they do this to us for everybody with Roman, AJ, Brock. Somebody leaves and we just don't hear from them. And then you're just supposed to be like, oh, cool, they're back. Like, where did they go? Why is AJ gone? Maybe say AJ's doing, maybe make fun of the prior commitments. I mean, AJ's out busy trying to write anime and stuff instead of like talking to me. Instead of ducking, she's ducking me. She'd rather write fantasy than like face reality, something like that. Just something to keep her in the back of your mind. And then they just don't do that. I think they just skip these like little beats in stories, and it's very frustrating to watch. They
Yeah,
just assume that you're gonna know, and yeah, there are a lot of smart fans who do know. And not to pick on AEW, AEW does it too. Like Hikaru Shida could show up next week, and like, where was she for 2 years? And they're like, don't worry about it. But it's a really frustrating thing with modern wrestling. That definitely, but back to AJ, I think she needs some type of motivation, whether that's getting beat up in Chicago or something to change the character because she's not. She's still in 2013 when everyone else is 2026. Also,
yeah.
Becky needs to be mad. I don't like Trump. It's not about Trump. I know I'm talking a lot. It's not about Trump. While he is stupid and rambly and annoying and obnoxious, he has this air of confidence. That's why people like gravitate to him. And he has this air of I'm gonna do something like diabolical, which is also why people are like, okay, like they look at him in a certain way. Becky just has the comical side right now, and I just think they need to get more aggressive.
I mean, every decision they've made with Becky Lynch since 2021 has been to me a head scratcher. It's like turning Steve Austin heel in '98 and then kind of just riding that for until 2007. I mean, just she was the Stone Cold of the women's division.
Yeah.
She was Hogan. She was she was the guy. That's why they call her the man. And they booked her like that until 2020. And I still feel I have a theory that Vince turned her and Roman heel because they went away. And when you go away, that's when he sees you as a buffoon and a coward.
And she was pregnant. What was she supposed to do?
Held that against her. He's like, you can't get pregnant now. I'm telling you, he's a weird guy. But even Roman never ever did anything cowardly until he went home for a few months during COVID, and then he came.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Paul Heyman goes that. No, no. Vince finally bought him as a heel because, oh yeah, you are a heel because you're a coward. You didn't
You can stick out and do these empty arena shows.
in a fucking warehouse. Fuck you. You're a heel. You are a bitch. And he kept the title for 3 years, but he was made to look. He's made to look like a coward sometimes, and that's when Vince sees you as a coward when you disappoint him.
Yeah.
Um, but like 2022, Bianca, like she came like 2022, she came back as a face, but then like she's on the undercard of WrestleMania 23. She just like she was held off. Her and Trish were taken off SummerSlam in 2023.
Yeah, they did a lot of weird missteps with her and Trish Stratus. I don't understand why they did that when they should have been on Summer. Like it was a SummerSlam ending feud, and they decided to do it the month later when they had no more juice left. It was really stupid.
And her running in fear from AJ Lee again. It's like Steve Austin running in fear from like I don't know, like fucking
Spike Dudley.
uh, Paul Orndorff or something. I don't know, like
I mean, Paul
that,
Orndorff's pretty big.
yeah. I'm just like, but I'm saying like it's like that's not what the character should be doing. And I think that character, and I'm sure Becky Lynch would be like, look at my bank account, I'm doing better than you. Okay, but I'm saying that character could have been something more, and not like what Rhea Ripley is. I feel like a lot of how Rhea Ripley's over because people, she's a fetish for people, even though
There's definitely some people.
yeah, I don't think Becky Lynch was ever a fetish in 2018. She didn't like she people just believed in her as an athlete. I believed in her. Is she an attractive woman? Yeah, but I
Mm.
believed in her as an athlete and as an ass kicker. And I think a lot of why Rhea Ripley's over, why AJ Lee was over back in the day, is because they were really hot, and AJ Lee was young, and she was skipping around, and people were hanging out with Epstein, and they were like, I like the way she skips. So I mean,
You almost had it, just like Kevin Nash.
you got to be more than that. What?
No, it was just, you almost had it. It's like a Kevin Nash comment
And
or
I was not
apology, I should say.
shitting on the fans. But
Yes. I mean I didn't mind Big Time Bex when she first became a heel and she was arrogant and then it helped elevate Bianca. I thought that was fine. Afterwards she did kind of float around. I did appreciate her trying to go to NXT and I think that helped Tiffany Stratton. I don't know if it anybody else it helped, but it definitely helped Tiffany. It's just you've also seen her for so long, so I commend her trying to do something new. I just don't think this is it. I think her and Seth like their characters a lot more than other people like their characters, and they think their characters are here when their characters are like, oh, I raised my hand high for the podcast people. Their characters are in the middle, and I don't get it personally. I think, like I said, I need more aggression. I need something to give this. Like, if this is going to WrestleMania and WrestleMania is 2 months away as of this recording, we need to step it up. We need to actually have something with these two.
I don't think it's going to WrestleMania. I think they're going to shift. I would like to see. I think it should shift. I think it should be if you could get what I would do if you can make this happen. AJ Lee, Bailey, and Charlotte versus Trish, Lita, and Becky. Bailey turns on AJ, and then for the next few months going to SummerSlam, we build to Bailey versus AJ. That's what I would do.
Got to throw Lyra Valkyria in there.
Um, no, we don't. No, we don't. No,
She's Bailey's partner. You kick her off of WrestleMania.
yeah, no, no, we don't need her. We don't need. This is about the four. This is about the women who've like changed the division. Lyra Valkyria made me. She's great. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Sorry, it's over. It's over before it started.
All right, all right. Well, yeah, I think I mean, they always talk about Trish Stratus coming back.
But
They always talk about Trish Stratus coming back. And I know Lita said in an interview that she can still go. A lot of people thought she was written off because she couldn't go. She says she can still go, so we'll see.
Think we
But
need
will
to have.
people buy a heel Lita? That's the thing.
I'll buy it. I think we no. You stole my man. Like you implied since you were six to steal my man, bitch.
No, not. No, we're not doing
I
that. Unless Trish is on Becky's side and Lita's on AJ's side. So like,
well, then
ooh.
Oakland and Beth Phoenix involved, and Matt Hardy and his wife.
Oh, well, Beth Phoenix is no, none of the rest of the Punk people. I don't know if Beth Phoenix has an AEW contract. I know she showed up once and then got her head taken off, and now Edge is filming movies, so who knows when he's coming back?
I mean, we already went over Edge a few weeks ago. I don't want to go
Yeah,
into
I mean his contract might be frozen too, like Chris Jericho. So who knows?
I saw a lot of misogynist posts about the Iconics getting signed. AEW. I don't want to talk about that. I think it's fine that they're in AEW. Tony's never going to book them anyway, and like I don't know what they think. What do you think's going to happen? The Iconics going to do a 40-minute interview segment and every Dynamite? Like
I mean they're gonna have fun. They're gonna be tag team fodder. Yeah, they'll definitely be on Ring of Honor and Collision. I thought, I mean, especially with Sean Spears being in there, I thought they were definitely going back to WWE. So maybe there was like a low ball offer. They're also on NXT a couple of times. Yeah, maybe a low ball offer, and maybe they weren't interested, which is crazy because they need tag teams. But hey, I have no issue with them doing that. They'll have a good time in AEW. They would have a good time in WWE. I don't think anyone's expecting the Iconics inspiration to be these five-star women. They're just gonna fill the roster and be entertaining.
this is the thing, and we see it on this show is that not you can't have every match. I'm praising this show. Every match can't be a 5-star fucking bloodbath grudge match, which AEW has right now. You need the FBI and you need the Iconics to kind of take the temperature down. And it, believe it or not, it's a very important role in the card because then when you get to the next blood match, the next I'm gonna fucking kill you match, it means more than just all 8 matches being like that. So you need, I think AEW desperately needs, especially in these 5-hour shows, if you have like Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page, and I'm gonna shoot you in the balls match, and then the next match after that is John Moxley versus Darby Allin, and we have to light each other on fire match. I think putting the Iconics taking on like Max, I don't know, I know it's not a company, just bear with me. The Iconics versus Maxine Dupree and Akira Tozawa. Between that, gives people a chance to breathe, gives people a chance to get some popcorn, go to the bathroom,
I mean,
because
you don't want someone to be the popcorn break. I mean, someone has to be. But
you need it. That's the you need a little break, and that's an important role. Because I'll tell you what happens: people just make up their own popcorn break. Like when we went to Full Gear, the Daniel Garcia Jungle Jack Perry match was supposed to be like a really important match for those two guys. Everyone in the arena decided that's the popcorn match, and these two guys are wrestling like it's the main event of WrestleMania to silence because everybody's like, if you're not going to give me a popcorn match, I'm going to create one. So go fuck yourselves. I'm going to go get some popcorn. So you need characters like the Iconics. I know AEW fans don't think so, but you need that so people in the arena and people at home can go fart around for a few minutes, reset themselves, and that way they're excited for when Dean Ambrose lights John Moxley, when John Moxley lights Darby Allin on fire. So
and who knows what they'll do? You don't know how they'll be in the ring. You don't know what kind of connection they'll have with Harley Cameron, who's sang their music. So it's not like you're hiring like Tegan Knox, for lack of a better person. They tried. It didn't really work out. Like you have this entertaining duo of experienced wrestlers. They've been in wrestling for years. So I think it's a good get, and if anyone is upset with that, that's on them. Like I
they
said, they're not gonna give you five like the big 5-star Tokyo Dome Classic, but you're gonna have a good match and a good time.
Dave Bixby claimed that Harley Cameron used her influence to get them hired, and I want to be like,
Influence.
think about what you're saying, because every no, these AEW fans get mad if you say Tony Khan doesn't have a spine. So you're telling me that Harley Cameron, who barely has been in the wrestling industry, can pressure Tony Khan to hiring the Iconics? Does that make any sense?
like Tony Khan knows who the Iconics inspiration are. Like he was a WWE watcher up until he bought like a company. I'm sure he still watches it. Um, like he knows who they are. He knows their talent. He knows their worth. So he doesn't. While Harley Cameron may have been like, "Hey, you should sign that." That's not an influence. It's like when you do comedy and you're like, "Hey, you should book this guy." I don't have to book them. It might help that it came from you, but I don't. You're not the reason this person is all. You're not forcing me to book this person.
I just think like, but if you actually think that, then Tony Khan is not a good boss in any way, shape, or form. Like he should be like if Harley Cameron, who's been there for 3 minutes, like how did she influence him to hire them? What did she do? Like, what are you trying to say? Is this a Vince McMahon situation? Like, that's my thing. It's like, no, he didn't do that. And if you think that, you have a very low opinion of Tony Khan.
There's been a lot of misinformation in AEW the past week with the Warner Brothers not liking the Ice Chance and then succumbing to that, and then that's obviously not what happened. And just, I don't know. I think these guys need to make up stuff to either
Yeah.
sell a newsletter or get their engagement. If WWE's giving them nothing, they'll do something weird with AEW.
I will say though that they should have just gave Brody the belt last night, not last night on Collision. I also think that it is weird to me as a Latino. I think it's weird that we're using fuck ice to get over a fat white guy. I think that's weird.
Fair.
I think it's like at the end of the day, Mexican people are still being deported unlawfully, and we're not going to rally again up behind this guy. It's just not going to happen. So people think he's going to be the next Stone Cold for this. That's fucking weird to me. That's like saying that like because of the because I don't know, Roddy Piper says like, oh, I don't like the revolution in South Africa. He's going to become bigger than Hulk Hogan. It's like no, that's like I don't know. That's like South African people's things. But I do think they should have put the belt. I think you have to seize the. No one seizes the moment anymore. Um, I guarantee you, if Triple H and Tony Khan were booking in 1984, Hulk Hogan wouldn't have won the title until WrestleMania one, and that would have been a complete waste of that first year. That was pivotal. WrestleMania one wouldn't do the business that we think that it should have done because they don't seize the moment anymore. And Hulk Hogan winning the belt that fast in '84 was weird. He's not supposed to win the belt that fast, but Vince seized the moment. And I think with everything going on in the country, and this will lead into my WrestleMania thing, I think Tony Khan should have just seized the moment and gave him the belt. And let's see what happens. Fuck it.
I mean, it would have been interesting. I'm sure, and I sound like Bixby. I'm sure there's politics as well involved. I'm sure MJF doesn't want to lose the title that quickly, or whatever they have planned with MJF and Adam Page. Maybe they want to see that out first. He could have made a triple threat. I don't know. He didn't have to be a long champion. He's just been a champion. But yeah, I think it would have been a cool moment to have. I think we could use more of that. They did that a couple weeks ago, where I thought Finn Balor should have won. Again, there are things that I don't understand their logic, maybe the financially or whatever creative nonsense, why they can't do that on both sides. But I do think it is cool to strike when the iron's hot, and we don't get that nearly enough. I don't even know when was the last time they did that. I'm trying to remember.
They let the iron just go away.
NXT maybe they gave a title to Ricky Saints. I don't know. I can't remember the last time they did it.
Yeah, no, they don't really do it anymore. They don't believe in it, and I don't believe in them. Um, yeah, they don't do it anymore. It's a shame.
They almost did it with Braun Breaker, and then he got a hernia.
Well, CM Punk was like, "Fuck you, bitch."
I'm sure he didn't want to lose either.
Uh, let's also end with this. Last night, I guess I don't know when I listen to this fucking podcast, but Logan Paul kind of admitted he was working when he shit on Bad Bunny, and then he said like, "I do think a match. It's been floated around a match between me and him." Um, I don't know if he said this on this podcast before. I think we did, but I think the time to do that match is now. This is a time strike when the iron's hot. Between the Super Bowl and the ICE protests and MAGA versus liberals and all this shit. I think the time to do this match is this year. SummerSlam, fucking Backlash. It's gonna be too late. It's got to be a WrestleMania. Got to be the main event of one of these nights. It is the only time I think in history where you can have two non wrestlers main event of WrestleMania, and everyone's going to accept it. Um, based on what's going on in this country, I think Bad Bunny deserves it more than anyone in the company. It's the you know what it is. You know what it's like. You know what it's like. It's like in 1985, Michael Jackson and Michael J. Fox can both wrestle and like they're good. They know how to take bumps, and they want to work WrestleMania. It's like, yeah, that match should be at WrestleMania one. You know what I'm saying? Like if they both
Yeah,
could, and like that's what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with two
it's the
guys.
Battle of Michaels.
I was trying to think of an actor that maybe Tom Cruise wasn't that big in '85, but like yeah, like two massive stars. I don't know. I guess maybe like Michael Jackson versus the guy who plays J.R. Ewing, Larry Hagman. But like two massive stars who can actually bump. If Michael Jackson and Larry Hagman can bump, then do a fucking feud with them in 1985. Imagine Michael Jackson's gonna have a match and he's like fucking pulling off. Imagine he's pulling off Dynamite Kid moves in the ring.
Two
He,
in headbutts.
yeah, he's
Oh my
fucking.
God. You can do that with the AI now. Seed Dance is the new AI, Seed Dance 2.0. And I saw it was Captain America versus Bucky for the world title, and then Spider-Man somehow won the belt. I don't encourage any of this, but
I
it
don't.
popped up.
But yeah, I'm thinking you got to do it. You got to do it at WrestleMania. You have to. It's time. Let's fucking do it. And I think it's going to be the biggest thing they could possibly do. This is the reason why you have Logan Paul around. What do you think?
I don't know about the main event. I think they're gonna still, just out of trepidation, put them with other people. So I can see it being Vision or two members of the Vision and Bad Bunny and Rey Mysterio or the Penta. It's not to get all these because they always want to get everybody on the show in some capacity. So they might do it that way instead of one on one. One on one is the bigger draw, in my opinion. But I think they're also gonna want to get some shine on like a Bronson Reed or a Penta, whether it's Penta and Bad Bunny against Bronson Reed and Logan Paul or Rey Mysterio. Somebody that like when people see it's like, oh, I remember Rey Mysterio. Or people from like back who are familiar with Penta, like, oh, yeah, cool, Penta. And well, Phoenix fucking rots, unfortunately. But
You can have people in their corner, and then you can have run-ins. I would book it like
do a lumberjack match.
not even a lumberjack match. I would book it more like a fucking Attitude Era match with run-ins and fucking people brawling in the aisles. And I mean, you could have Rey Mysterio run in. Like the Bad Bunny match with Damian Priest had a ton of run-ins. You know?
Yeah, just do that again. Bring Carlito back. Why not?
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, I would have Shane McMahon get thrown off a fucking cliff. They're in the middle of the match.
I mean,
This,
Shane McMahon needs some redemption after
yeah,
his
Shane
poor
McMahon.
quads.
Shane McMahon just walks out, and fucking Bad Bunny just throws him through a flaming table. Like, no, he doesn't even try to attack Bad Bunny. He's just doing his dance, and Bad Bunny goes,
That's his new role in the WWE to just get killed every other WrestleMania.
yeah.
Like Pete
So
Rose.
yeah, so I think that like it's now or never, and that's the match for WrestleMania. We'll see. I think the Masked Man's gonna wind up being Bad Bunny. So,
Uh, look, I mean, unless they're all, you got a bunch. I thought it was like a Rollins plan. Bad Bunny would be interesting, but like, it doesn't look like him. I guess he has multiple masked men that are just doing this. Like it's kind of like a big promotion.
yeah,
Like it's just like a not promotion, but a big like mind game where different masked men keep screwing over the Vision, and then it's revealed to be Bad Bunny or Seth Rollins, which is probably the least interesting but obvious one. I think, yeah, I mean, if you can get Bad Bunny, you get Logan Paul, and they have a match, people will tune in, especially if it's going to be on ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, whatever they call it. I don't know if they're still saying that WrestleMania is going to be on ESPN. I remember that was like an early talk. I don't know if that's still a plan with them. I never know, but I could
just
also see them putting that match on ESPN so
put it
people
on.
tune in the game.
Put it.
Where is it?
They should put on Disney Plus. They should
It is
move
on there. If you have the ESPN Plus thingy, it counts as Disney Plus. You can watch WWE on Disney Plus if you have all the other extra shit that they want you to have.
Well, I'll tell you what. We found, this ESPN thing. It's kind of been a blessing in disguise because if you know what you're doing, you can really enjoy WCW and ECW now more than ever. And we know what we're doing because today we're going to review Wrestlepalooza 98. And we found copies with the original music. And let me tell you, what a fucking revelation. I am actually glad now the ESPN deal went through because it forced us to find this copy. And while this is not the greatest show in the world, I can't imagine watching this show with the shitty music. What did you think of the show overall, and how much better did the music make the show?
I think the music changes it 100%. Because these shows are dreadful sometimes watching them on Peacock. I could not go back and watch ECW on the network or Peacock because the music and the sound and the crowd was just so changed that like this is not what I watched. Like I'd rather you just take the entrances out. Like that's how bad it is. And for this, like it's so much better. Like just from the jump, you're like, oh my God, like the FBI's music or Nova and Blue Meanie or Rob Van Dam, Enter Sandman, they're singing along. Everything is just great in terms of, at least in terms of the quality. The show was the show. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it.
There's some stuff about the show that I really like. There's some stuff about the show I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
One thing that he does that WCW still, and WCW doesn't do this even at the end,
Hmm.
is you want to complain about his camera work, fact that the arenas look like shit, this, that, and third. Paul Heyman, man, does great video packages. His video packages might even be better at this point than WWE. He tells you exactly why you should give a shit about this match
Yeah.
every time. And they had like a $4 budget. I mean, he's killing it because he's like, this is why they're feuding. This is why you should want this guy to win. This is what happens if the other guy wins. Here we fucking go. And if you haven't been watching the show, it fills you the fuck in. And WCW, even in 2001, never does that.
No, when we're watching the WCW ones back, sometimes I don't know what happened because they just don't have any video packages except for like the beginning. I'm like, oh, why is this happening? Okay, cool. Like every
Even
now and then they'll have one.
right now, like it's just so simple. Like Hangman Page wants the bill from MJF. MJF is a Jew. This is why they're fighting. Like I don't know. Like there's just
Oh God. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, AEW doesn't do that many packages either. They did do the November Rain music video, which I thought could have been better, but that's just me.
yeah. It's just very simple. Like, get a fucking narrator and be like, Tony Storm hates her because of this, da, 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 and here we go. Tonight, if Tony Storm wins, she gets this. If the other broad wins, she gets that. Let's go.
They have
And
done that. They did do that for the Hollywood ending. You know where they do it? They do it on, oh my God, that like not the 0 hour, and like they have that thing before,
yeah, I know.
like on the Dynamites before the show. Yeah, I forgot what they call those, but that's what they do.
Like Paul Heyman's doing here. I mean, it's just like, come on, man. This guy figured it out 25 years ago. Everyone else was like, what happened?
Yeah, you gotta remind people sometimes why you're watching that, especially something like ECW, where like some people maybe they're watching it for the first time, like hey, I watched this pay-per-view because they can't get ECW in the mountains, and then they're like, okay, this is where I am, this is where this is about. Cool, I'm ready to watch. People kind of forget that too. Some people are watching. I know fans are like, oh, I don't like video packages. Some people are watching for the first time, so you want to get people caught up to speed.
Or sometimes people are watching after 25 years and forgot most of this shit.
Exactly, because the shows aren't interesting.
Um, really quick. So we're getting into shows that I watched the show the day after it aired. My friend taped it on his legal cable box. I watched it. My friend Lou, who got bullied that day and had like kind of like a little fucking breakdown, and we had to go to
Damn,
his place, and I was trying to make him feel better. He was a bit of a drama queen. Um, this show didn't make him feel better.
that sucks. Well, they didn't bully anybody on the show.
No, he was being bullied by another kid in the
No, I
class.
know. So he wasn't watching any bullies. Get the
Um,
Dudley boys.
he didn't know at the time that he was bullied, right? But
Yes, he did become bully, right?
I remember this. So this was my first ECW show watching all the way through. Before that, I just watched TV shows, and I remember being disappointed in it. Now watching it back, I'm not disappointed in it. It's still not that great, but it's also not the worst. But yeah, we watched it before I went to my other friend's house to watch Raw and Nitro. Then me and him had dinner with my folks. He went home, still depressed. I was happy. I got to, bro. Those were the days. ECW. Then you go and you watch Raw and Nitro at your friend's house.
Yeah, the next day there was so much wrestling and you weren't tired of it. It was
That whole day. I got home from school like 3, watched
mm,
at my friend's house at 7,
and
fucking Raw and Nitro.
yeah, it was a wrestle-filled day. Huge wrestle-filled day.
I know, and a year before that, I was like, I'm not watching this stupid shit. Look at me in May of '98. All right, so the show just starts right with the first match. There's no like fucking Joey Styles in the ring, none of that bullshit. It's the FBI.
Also, I do want to sorry. We might have like a VHS version of it, the one that we saw. So maybe there is more. I don't know. And
No,
because there were like little cuts, it seemed like.
well, it was like a Malaysian pay per view. The
Yeah,
version.
whatever it was. Yeah. Whatever weird version it was. But hey, I'm happy it existed.
Listen, I think this is how it started. I had the original pay per view recording. I should have kept these tapes. I think this is how the show started
Okay.
in '98.
Why not?
So it's Little Guido and Tracy Smothers versus the Blue Meanie and Supernova. They have a dance off. The referee has a dance off. Um, I will say Little Guido, Tracy Smothers, and Tommy Rich are a great fucking comedy act. Blue Meanie and Supernova, not so much. Blue Meanie is not very good. He seems like a nice guy, and but even the dancing is just like not. It's not. Rikishi did it better. I'm sorry. Rikishi and some of these other people did the dancing better. They have a dance off. The referee actually dances better than all of them. I really like the FBI. The match is okay. The match is like comedy. I kind of think that Nova and Blue Meanie are a little bit too indie-rific, and Little Guido and Tracy Smothers get it, but it is what it is. The Blue World Order wins. It was fine. It was a good start. It was a good start, easing the crowd in, and it gives them a little fun. I do really like the Full Blooded Titans. I think they're very. It is extremely funny to me when you know the history of Wildfire Tommy Rich that he's here doing this. It is just okay, everyone. Just imagine fucking Dominic Mysterio is like 50, pretending to be Italian at a fucking armory in 30 years. Okay, that's what's going on here.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean it was a fine match. It was for an ECW show. It was very sports entertainment. Just a lot of dancing and character work. I think I don't ever expect much from the Blue Meanie. I do remember the WrestleMania 2000, like the music and the Titantron on the loop, just of him raising the roof, doing his little meanie dance. That is constantly in my head. But yeah, it was a sports entertainment match. It was and Nova and Meanie are this is like their role for at least the next few years until I think they get Chris Chetty and Nova become a team and Blue Meanie goes through a couple transformations before they all wind up in WWE years later. But
I will say about the Blue Meanie, it is fucking crazy to me that of all the people in the ring, he's the one who gets signed first by Vince.
yeah, oh,
He's
I forgot he that's why he teams with Chris Chetty. Yeah, they hired Meanie and they hired Stevie and they do it was a disaster. But
Meanie is with the Job Squad for a little bit. Uh,
oh.
he's in there in November. He's like there really fast,
Oh, I
and
didn't even see it. I skipped that completely. I forgot.
we're gonna get to it, and then he goes with Gold Dust as Blue Dust.
Oh
But
my God. Yeah, I blocked all of this out.
it's wild to me because to me, watching this, I'm like, I would say to the WWE brain trust, I would bring in Tommy Rich as a fucking manager before I bring in the Blue Meanie as a wrestler. But I think Vince loves fat guys dancing. I think Vince,
Oh yeah, he loves a dancing fat guy.
I could see Vince. Remember Big Dick Johnson, the
Yeah.
I could see Vince being like, I'm gonna do that with Blue Meanie. Like we're gonna turn him into a half naked dancing guy, and then like they got him, and they're like, oh, this guy's an annoying guy from Philly. Fuck him.
Might be what happened. Yeah, they got him. He was big. He danced. He he was sports entertainment. He's this guy with blue hair, belly out, a dancer. Why have somebody like Nova, which they eventually get to and turn into Simon Dean? Why have somebody who can do these innovative moves and when I can have the dancer? They get Nunzio too. Nunzio, Lil Guido, who does a
Yeah.
really good job for years. Like he was just whatever role you gave Little Guido Nunzio, no matter the company, he just always excelled. And so I want to give Lil Guido Nunzio his props there.
So I was at a house show, I think at the end of 2010. There was a huge blizzard in New York City, and
Mm,
a lot of people got snowed out. Nunzio was there visiting. They made him the ref. And he's not in the company anymore. They just made him the ref for a bunch of matches, including the main event, and he just did it because like I think some referees couldn't get there, and they just go to Nunzio, can you ref? We're fucked. And I remember like it was very hard to get home, even from the train. And he was like,
yeah.
sure. And I think the main event was John Cena versus Wade Barrett in the cage, and he was the ref for that. He was a ref for a few other matches. So yeah, he's like a guy like they could call him today and be like, we need you to fucking agent every match, and he could probably do it.
Yeah. They did it like last year when they were NXT in Philly. He was there. I don't remember if he had a match or not, but I believe he was there. And then he was in TNA. They brought like the new FBI with some more people. He was in TNA for a bit. So
Mhm.
he's still going.
Up next was a big surprise to me. I was ready to be like, fuck this match, because Just Incredible annoys me, especially now. Was Just Incredible versus Mikey Whipwreck. Um, Crazy thing about this match when they tell you that both guys are 23 years old at this
Oh
time
my God. Yeah.
is that means Just Incredible's life was over before he was 30. Um, Just Incredible versus Mikey Whipwreck. I really loved this match. I was shocked how good this match was. This match was a war. It was a believable war. One of my favorite spots that I have not seen anyone do in ever was the suplex from the railing onto a table,
Oh yeah.
which was like, wow, like that's a spot someone in AEW should rip off for the next pay per view because that was very impressive. Then when they throw the chair, this was just two guys who want to kill each other. And it's entirely believable. And Just Incredible really impressed me in this match. I kind of saw what Paul Heyman saw in him. And I'm watching this match and be like, if Just Incredible was 23 now, he'd be in the division. Paul Heyman would, we have to put him in the division. He is the future of this company, sir. Um, but I see now in this match why Paul Heyman believed in him. You sometimes in the moment you're annoyed. You're like this guy doesn't have it, and ultimately he doesn't have it. But in this match he had it, so maybe he does have it. We have to keep watching. What do you think of this match? I loved it.
No, it was a good match. The big shock, like you said, was 23, both of them, because Mikey Whipwreck especially is a rough 23. I mean, that guy was getting thrown around at like 18, 19, and it shows.
Entire life at
What
this. I
what
thought wait,
happened?
40 years old.
Yeah, he looked 40 after a while. So to see these two young kids go at it is crazy. And it was a good showing for Just Incredible. It was more of his rise. I was surprised that they I forgot that Mikey Whipwreck beat him because I was like, why would that's not something that would happen. You'd end an undefeated streak with it. It wouldn't be like Tozawa ending Obafemi's winning streak. Although Obafemi's not. Just Incredible are different. But it was good. Good match. Can't complain. And then there's more to come with Just Incredible.
I think Mikey Whipwreck in this era was more Sami Zayn than Akira Tozawa. He becomes Akira Tozawa in WCW, but
That's
he's
right. I'm thinking, and then he comes back again, and then it's like already over.
yeah, he's kind of like because he beat Steve Austin too.
No, that I remember. I didn't. I just, he was gone for a while, so I thought he like went back to being like more of like a job, for lack of a better word, a jobber.
Yeah, no,
After he left.
he's not there
I
yet.
mean, after he was hurt.
He's Sami Zayn in the company, right? That that's what I see him as. Uh, I do love the idea that Steve Austin goes to ECW as a pilgrimage and picks up the beer drinking and the stunner from Whipwreck and Sandman. Like he like learns, like he's like in the streets, like he's Rocky learning, and then he goes
Yeah,
to WWE and he's like a whole new guy.
no, it's a smart thing to do. I think Joey Styles even mentions it that he gave Stone Cold the stunner.
Yes. Okay. So up next, Axel Rotten comes out and cuts a promo. Uh, I don't know. I get nervous when I see Axel Rotten. Axel Rotten just feels like a guy who corners you in a bar and asks for $15.
I
Uh,
mean, he didn't have a good end, so
is him again. Balls Mahoney. Balls Mahoney lasts a long time in WWE, which always surprises me.
it's just sports entertainment again.
I think you know what I heard that he actually followed the dress code. That's why Vince put because I don't know if you remember back then they had a dress code, suit and tie.
Yeah,
Balls Mahoney did it, and I think Vince McMahon took notice of that, so he always had a spot on the show while he was in the company. Um, because Balls Mahoney's not a suit and tie guy, so I think that's why
not at
he.
all.
Um,
Hey, why not?
Everyone in this match is dead but Lance Storm. But here we go: Axel Rotten, Balls Mahoney versus Lance Storm and Chris Candido.
Shit, you're right.
I do think Lance Storm and Chris Candido were a good team, and I would have liked to have seen them in WCW and WWE. I think that they do the partners who don't like each other thing pretty good, considering last
Yeah,
week they were like beating the shit out of each other. The This match is pretty good. It's a good clash of styles. It's not the greatest, but I almost feel like Candido and Storm are forcing these guys to actually wrestle. Like you're not going to just hit us with trash cans because we're going to reverse it
yeah,
and put you in moves. Candido Man is the most AEW wrestler to never be in AEW. Like right now, he'd be in the main event. He'd be in the main event scene. He'd be like with the Deadpool, the Death Riders. He's so like, man, I wish he was around now because he'd be so much more appreciative. He's got like this. He's like a mediocre white guy who thinks he's the shit, and he pulls it off so much better than Jeff. He's what everyone thinks Jeff Jarrett is. It's Chris Candido. Okay, that's Chris Candido's the mediocre white guy who thinks he's the shit, pulls it off. Yeah, I enjoyed this match. The Candido and Storm win. I think there was money on the table with Candido and Storm staying together for years and years. I think there's certain tag teams people give up on way too soon. This is one of them. Mark Henry D'Lo is another, and my third pick is Enzo and Big Cass. Enzo and Big Cass should be like the Rock and Roll Express. They should never be separated. Whatever.
well,
What?
that's kind of their fault.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, outside of that, I mean they're good now, I guess, Enzo and Cass. But the Chris Candido Landstorm, they did an awesome job. I thought they were a team for longer. I don't my all my ECW memories are fuzzy. I thought they were a team for way longer, than they
They
should have
break
been
up
a team. When did they break up?
by the fall.
Yeah, I thought it was much longer. Um, they do a great job in this match. Sonny's there for some reason. Um, and I like Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney. I always liked them as a team. So to have, like you said, the contrast of styles, the like, will they actually do it? It was an extra layer to this match. Of course, they don't do it. As for Balls Mahoney in WWE, like I said, he had that sports entertainment feel, and if Axel Rotten was also able to get that together, they could have been a nice tag team in WWE. I know they tried briefly, but they could have been a nice little entertaining. I don't want to call them bushwhackers, but that like entertaining team that like fans and kids like the chair swinging freaks, as they were called. Um, so I think that's another team that unfortunately did not get to the levels that they could have gotten. But yeah, this match overall, no complaints.
No complaints.
Yeah,
With the next match, also no complaints. I do kind of wish Bam Bam
just
Bigelow
just kind of here.
better position. It's New Jack versus Bam Bam Bigelow, and man, New Jack's song makes everything he does better.
1,000 times.
Um, it's Bam Bam versus New Jack. The abuse New Jack willingly put his body through for ultimately no gain. He takes a bump at the end. He jumps and lands like a suit, like he's committing suicide. Not even like he's doing a bump. He jumps, and it's like, bro, nobody remembers this. I forgot. I watched this live, and I forgot that he fell like almost like a second story apartment jump. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And to me, it's like I like New Jack, but like, man, I just feel like if you know, I feel like New Jack's the one guy who would have benefited from WWE and Vince McMahon giving him structure. Because I think if you gave New Jack structure and said, "This is what we're gonna do. This is what you're gonna do tonight. You're not gonna deviate from this," and he had coaching, I think he could have been one of the biggest stars in wrestling history. But they kind of just let him always cater to his worst instincts, and I think it's to his detriment. I mean, the guy's dead, so obviously I was right. But it's okay. It's just I watched this match now, and I'm like, you didn't have to do all this, you know.
yeah. I mean, I think New Jack did not want to be coached, so which is why he was what he was. I know he had issues with Vince McMahon from the beginning, just I guess the kind of man Vince McMahon is, which I get.
Well,
And
what the Carlito Stavic storyline is supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be New Jack. Was
yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard it, I've heard it debunked, so I don't know which one is true. I
I
think
think I
Bush,
think I think it was gonna be New Jack. I think it was gonna be New
yeah,
Jack. We're gonna do ECW in a few months. The ECW DVD was going nuts. I
yeah.
think that it was gonna be New Jack. I do.
Maybe they thought New Jack would get more over than Carlito, and they didn't want that.
Zeus did it, remember?
Jesus came and went.
Yeah.
Poor guy. But yeah, as for the match it's a kind of just a random match to have on the show. Bam Bam Bigelow, like you're not I would not have thought these two have fought in ECW. I would have never guessed. I thought they just completely missed each other. So that's cool. The jump is fucking scary, and in hindsight, you're like, okay, we don't need this. And I think the match actually was supposed to go on a little longer, but he was knocked out. So Bam Bam just drags him to the ring and wins because what else are you gonna do? Fucking knocked himself out. So I would say they needed to be more careful with that stuff, but they never were. So it just kind of ended.
Yeah. 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 There's not much to say. I'm sure we'll have more to say. We got a lot more to say about New Jack as the years go by, but right now, there is a match where New Jack in TNA, he is
Hmm.
forced to wrestle a real match or get fired. He cannot not wrestle.
Is
And
that the stipulation?
yes, it's called like the Heart Eight Tournament or something, and it's like in the early days. And I've decided that we're gonna review the weekly TNA pay-per-views, because they are pay-per-views.
I didn't. No one told me.
Well, we got time, so we can still debate it. But I kind of want to do that, and I think it'll be fun. I'll pay for TNA. I'll give you the password. Also, it is a pay per view, so like if AEW starts doing a pay per view every day of the week, when we get to 2025, 2026, we have to cover 365 AEW pay per views.
I would cry.
What?
Not because it's AEW. That's just so much. I said I would cry.
I'm just saying that's the rule. And again, and if we get to like 2027 and the world ends and there's only one WWE pay per view, we only cover one pay per view. Yeah, that's the way it goes in life. Up next, it's the Dudleys versus Sandman and Tommy Dreamer. This kind of feels more of the same from Bam Bam and New Jack, and it was like a big gap of just hardcore wrestling, which after a while it gets boring. Um, Sandman entrance was great though, seeing that. But other than that, it was like it just kind of felt like more of the same. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I will always like the salmon entrance. I always like seeing Beulah. Will never be upset about that. Um, yeah, it was just they did the once you saw the spot where the salmon was taken out, and then you knew he was gonna come back at some point. So he comes back, they do their thing. I can't remember if Beulah gets a 3D or not. 'Cause I thought that's how they write her out.
Well, I know she gets the 3D on the weekly show as well,
Yeah, I
and
remember she
that's
gets 3D and she's like written out for like ever.
forever. Yeah, I think she
Yeah,
wanted it, so they just had it because then
yeah,
Dean starts managing Tommy Dreamer.
yeah. It was very weird,
Mm.
but. Yeah, it was just a hardcore for the sake of hardcore. It's weird that like after all that, and I think it's just a product of modern wrestling. Just the double DDTs take the Dudley Boys out. You're like, that's it after everything that was done, I guess. But I think like, that's a modern wrestling problem where like, um, I remember Fletcher and Ciampa, they just kept kicking out. And some people love that. Some people would love the kick out porn as they call it. And at some point I'm just like, dude, this is like the 18th one. Like you can't keep kicking out of these moves. Yeah, like that. It just kind of cheapens it. And WWE too. But yeah, the double DDT surprised me that that's how that just ended like that. But yeah, just hardcore for the sake of hardcore. I think they have one more match with each other. I'm not sure.
Yeah, overall it makes me sick. Um,
Sorry.
it's okay. 1 second though. So one thing I forgot to mention, and I can't remember where it happened on the show. I watched this show Sunday morning. Um, Shane Douglas comes out, go on about his injuries. Also, the other thing I forgot to mention is during the Lance Storm match, there is a loud free Ric Flair chant
Yeah.
because the dirt sheets. I mean, I knew this, and I didn't even have the internet or dirt sheets. Eric Bischoff is holding Ric Flair's contract hostage. He wants out, and I think there was a feeling that Ric Flair would just have gone everywhere if he got out. And I think for all the things that fans go, this is the thing about ECW. The Laps fan made this point. For all the things of were anti-establishment, were this, that, and the third. If Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan walked out on a fucking ECW show and started beating the shit out of like the Dudley Boys, the crowd went ballistic. Like if I'm ECW, dude, people would have fucking lost their minds. It didn't matter who came through the curtain. If you're a star, you come through that ECW curtain, then you're ECW. There's no like, oh, you don't fit in here, you're this, that. No. They're gonna go crazy. So if Ric Flair walked out, started putting fucking everybody in the finger four, they would have been wooing like their fucking lives depended on it. So they're chanting, "We want Flair." Shane Douglas comes out to cut his Triple H promo, talk about all his injuries. He starts shitting on Ric Flair, and the crowd, it's just like, bro, now is not the time. That was a misguided thing to do, I think, with Shane. And I know Ric Flair wasn't nice to Shane, but it's kind of like if in AEW some guy kept saying that Cody Rhodes is a giant piece of shit. It's
Hmm.
like, but we like him. We believe in him more than we believe in you. So unless you have like legit beef, like he touched your wife or something, I don't know. Like no one, you shit on Ric Flair, no one cares. So on the show, I think they're trying to babyface Shane Douglas, and they have Taz come out, and Taz beats him up, and we're supposed to be like, "Oh, you piece of shit, Taz," and instead I'm like, "Yeah, kill him. I don't give a fuck this guy. Like, I don't care how injured he is. He's not. You're not Ric Flair. You're just not." And it's embarrassing that you keep talking. And then when you get Ric Flair in the ring, your match stinks, which is what happens in the year 2000. What did you think?
I thought it was weird. I thought it was yeah, there was a free Ric Flair chance, which would have been very interesting if he showed up. And you were right, because Sid, who is not an ECW guy at all on paper, comes in and is one of the most popular dudes there. Obviously, they used him to his strength. They just power bomb people and left. But if that rumor of the Ultimate Warrior coming to ECW ever worked out, people would have been crazy for the Warrior. It's
I
just
would have
kind of
been
how they are.
I would have been, dude, if Warrior showed up in ECW in 1999, I would have been in every Outlaw show, fucking going ballistic. Yeah,
Yeah, he lived in Queens, I believe, at the time too.
like,
But um yeah, it was a weird promo. It was a weird things with Shane Douglas in general because they're trying to like give him sympathy, but then he's fighting your top babyface, and then Taz is so beloved as well. Why you're taking your top heel and trying to give him some type of sympathy because he, especially after, and there's a video package later which shows why he doesn't, or before then, which shows why he doesn't deserve any sympathy. 'Cause they show him doing the thing to the pit bulls and all that other stuff. But it's a very weird thing that they did. Another thing we thought they did the tribute to the Legends of Hardcore, which I thought was cool.
yeah,
Um, I'm
that's
not sure if that's Junkyard Dog's like last
that,
appearance. It
that
is,
is
right? Yeah.
monthly.
Which yeah, crazy. Like a month from now, he's no longer with us. But he got a huge pop. They chant his name like again too. I think at a different point of the show, they're just like JYD. Yeah, so they had a bunch of other guys pop up. I'm just remembering Junkyard Dog because that one stood out the most.
Superstar comes out.
Yeah,
Dirty
Mad
Dick,
Superstar. Yes, Dirty Day. Brad Armstrong. Not Brad
uh,
Armstrong. Bullet Bob.
Lil Bob. Mass Superstar is Axe, which is funny that he comes out. I don't think the audience realizes that that guy is Axe because he
That
gets, but J,
you should show the Survivor Series here.
JYD man. I mean, the guy was a truck driver, still fucking had it. There was this. Somebody was saying that Dave Meltzer. They kind of feel like Dave Meltzer is always very overcritical of black wrestlers, and they were saying like him going so hard on Booker T, for example. And I said I actually think what he did with Junkyard Dog is worse because he has gone out of his way since the '80s to call him Junk Food Dog.
Wow.
Junkyard Dog. Let me tell you what Junkyard Dog did, which nobody talks about, which everybody should talk about. Junkyard Dog had members of the KKK coming to the shows to cheer him on and threatening Michael Haynes with death because in the angle, Michael Hayes blind Junkyard Dog. He can't see.
Yes.
The KKK wants to kill Michael. People in the KKK were sending messages to Michael Hayes. We're gonna fucking kill you because you did this to Junkyard Dog. Like he turned people around. He turned racists into fucking defenders of black families. No one's ever done. No one talks about it. Nobody addresses it. To me, he's one of the most important. Look, I only have two LJNs on me. Okay, from the '80s. Okay, the immortal one, Hulk Hogan, and Junkyard Dog. And when I was a kid, they were 1A, 1B. All right, and the world gave up on Junkyard Dog. I didn't. They don't talk about this guy enough. And the response he gets from that crowd, it's because people still believe, I still believed in him in 1998.
Mm.
And the way they've diminished this guy's like, this guy should have a movie about it. He should have statues. He's the fucking king. And the way that they constantly downplay him, yeah, he got a drug problem. Yeah, he got fat. Yeah, he blew his money. That doesn't matter. What matters to me is the stride, the moves he made, and the people he reached, and that it should be celebrated. And I don't
Yeah.
know, but Dave Meltzer. Well, he didn't throw a fucking drop kick like Chris Benoit, so he should burn in hell. I guess I don't know.
Always the drop kick. Yeah, no, he is definitely someone who does not get, as the kids say, his flowers when he should because of the later problems in, I guess, his WWE career. Um, that's what people think about. But I mean, I remember the story. I watched The Dark Side of the Ring. I didn't know so much about Junkyard Dog, and like I knew about some of the stuff before because I used to work and Busted Open, and they would talk wax poetic about it, rightfully so. No, he should be in higher regard. He wasn't just this like grab them cakes dude. He was a superstar. He was not like a WWE superstar. He was a superstar, and he just does not get that love. So it was very nice to see the ECW crowd go ballistic for him over everybody else, more so than everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, X.
That's it. He died. He dies in a car accident a month later.
Yeah, it's horrific.
I remember it's
Graduation.
It's the first. I mean, Andre, but it's the first Andre. But I was kind of already not watching when Andre died. But it's the first time because I watched. They did it on WWF New York, which was Shotgun Saturday. They did like an extended 7 minute video package for him when he died. And
Mm.
the first time where WWE like kind of like paused the show to be like, "Hey, this guy died," and it was kind of cool. And I don't know if you remember, but in Warzone, if you did, and I think I heard they added this in. If you do certain moves, Shane McMahon goes shades of the late great Junkyard Dog.
Oh, no, I
Oh,
don't remember that.
whoever Jerry Lawler, whoever the announcer is in Warzone.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's Shane McMahon, and I forgot who it is.
yeah, they say Junkyard Dog in the game. Maybe it's an attitude, but it's in one of them. Where they if you do a
That's
move,
fine, man. Attitude.
yeah, I think it might be attitude, but I think it's Warzone because it was fucking like, how are they? I was like, why are they talking the Junkyard Dog? Like they must have just added that in because it came out in August that game and he died in June. So
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't remember which. But Shane McMahon did the commentary on Attitude. Warzone, I think, was still Vince.
yeah,
So
so
maybe because Warzone came out in '99, so maybe that's why they were able to do it. I mean, Attitude came out in '99,
only
because of all the delays.
the only wrestler not in the game that they talk about in the commentary. Like they go like Shades of the Junkyard Dog, and you're like,
Yeah.
you know. All right, so up next is Rob Van Dam versus Sabu. This match is long.
Oh yeah.
Match is very, very long. This is the thing, we're told that ECW is also great wrestling, not just hardcore. This is like the third show in a row where they have like a legit wrestling match, and the crowd kind of it's not the most wrestling match, but the crowd really like they really need to be conditioned because by the time we get to like next year when RVD's in the ring, they're fucking paying attention. But right now they're still kind of bored. I remember watching this live. This match felt like it was like 5 hours long.
Hmm.
Well, it's in 1998. The match seems a little bit better. I'm gonna sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but I do think this is severely affecting me when it comes to RVD and Sabu. The fucking the fucking whistle with Bill Alfonso,
Hmm.
it's brutal, and I say that every time. Um, it affects the matches. Like just imagine if during Shawn Michaels Undertaker, I don't know, fucking Paul Bearer was outside just blaring an air horn every 3 seconds. Like it just
The
that
the Vuvuzelas were popular. I can't remember the year that the Vuvuzelas were. If it was during Shawn Michaels Undertaker. Oh, you're talking about '97. I thought you meant 2011. But I
2000.
remember.
Imagine like Paul
Yeah.
or like fucking every time Undertaker does a move, Paul Bearer just blares an air horn and just
Yeah. There's that, you know what that's like? That happens on the UK shows. I know it wasn't as prevalent in SummerSlam, but when they do, if you watch any of those UK tour shows when they were on Peacock, someone was dun. Like
see
they
that
do that constantly.
it's the crowd. It
Yeah, you
annoys
mean like an actual manager being like, I'm gonna do
Yeah, the boss has approved you to make this annoying noise. You
that.
won't get a fucking match on the show.
Yeah,
Um,
it does suck.
yeah, like the crowd can do whatever you want. If WrestleMania this year, somebody's got an air horn and they're just letting them blare it, I
Hmm.
think they can't shut the fuck up. But I'm okay with it. Like whatever, fans are fans. This is
Yeah.
different. This is fucking give me a break. There's some good spots, but ultimately, like it is what it is. And then there's the time limit draw. But I did think this was some good spots. It wasn't as bad as I remember it, but it's very fucking long. What did you think?
It's too long. It is so damn long. It's not a terrible. It's not like the worst match of all time. Far from it. Rob Van Dam and Sabu know how to deliver, but they could deliver at least 10 minutes less, in my opinion, 15 even. But it was just too long. It's funny because people will get on Triple H in his long ass matches. Rob Van Dam's doing the same thing here. I guess they just needed to fill time, and they thought Rob Van Dam was going to. I thought it was 15 minutes because of the television title. And I remember the at least the in WCW the TV title is a 15-minute time limit. So I was like, this is a very long 15 minutes, but it was 30 based on Wikipedia. So if they shortened it, I would have had thought it was a way better match, but it was just so damn long. And then nothing happened. Then they beat up fucking the referee.
Yeah, it made me. Yeah, it just was like, come on.
Yeah.
But now we get a cool video package for Shane versus Al Snow. There's a cool song, and I go back and find the song at the beginning of that package with Shane and Al.
Hmm.
I've never heard it before. I know I've heard it in the '90s, but it was like it's like a really like driving peacefully down the road song. And then Al Snow's theme. They cut promos in the back. Al Snow cuts a promo that he's been a loser all these years, and it's his time. I will say now that it's all said and done, Al Snow had a much more successful career than Shane Douglas.
Yeah. You see
He
that.
becomes a star in WWE. He becomes a trainer. He owns OVW. He worked for TNA. Shane Douglas is at a Target. So, Al Snow, you got your wish. So here we go. The match starts. It's not that long. It's not that good. Um, Shane beats Al Snow. They do this weird thing where they have the whole crowd all the come out. They try to like pretend like Shane Douglas has been babyfaced by this. The crowd has been stunned silent. Yeah, because the crowd doesn't give a shit. They kind of wanted Al Snow to win. I get the sense that Vince called for his toy to come back because Al Snow during all this is still Vince's property, and I think Vince is like, you had found my toy, but I want it back. So Paul Heyman was like, rather than do a long match to get over Al, I'll do a short match and babyface my guy who's never leaving. Um, it wasn't that great, but Al Snow goes on to bigger and better things. And I guess like at the end of the day, they had to do this because I think next month Al Snow is in WWE full time. He wanted his toy back.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. I'm just kind of double checking with the Wikipedia, and they say Al Snow's back around May '98. Does a couple more matches for ECW. Loses to just kind of gets faded out in the obscurity in ECW, which is crazy for the amount of popularity he had. So I guess they saw the head and all the gimmick that he did. I'm like, all right, well, you got him over. We're gonna take him now. When it could have really benefited from Al Snow, even if it was for a little bit of time, getting that win because the crowd was ready. They were ready. And when Shane Douglas, with from one arm, wins the match, people start angrily throwing their heads in the ring, like
Yeah,
immediately. Yeah, they threw their heads in. It was like to see a chair, but a foam head, so a lot less painful. Good arms though, because those heads, you gotta work hard to throw those heads. And then, yeah, I don't know what the double raise for. Maybe that was like a thank you to Al Snow to lift both guys up on the shoulders. Especially someone like Shane Douglas, whose character is deplorable. So I don't know why the locker room's like, yay, but that's what they wanted to do. Yeah, it was just an okay match. It should have been Al Snow, but I think the WWE prevented that.
yeah. So disappointing. I blame you for the entire thing.
I was 8. I don't remember.
So yeah, so that's the show
11.
overall. If you can find it, you should watch it. I think if you can find it. I'm not gonna tell you where to get it, but it's there.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I mean, you can if you want to. Like I don't think you lose anything by not watching this show. I don't really think you gain much unless you want to see the Junkyard Dog like stuff. And I guess depends on how much you like Rob Van Dam and Sabu and Candido Storm, things like that. But if you can go your life without ever watching this. Not necessarily because it's bad, but I don't think it's like a groundbreaking show.
Yeah, yeah. So fuck 'em. All right, let's
Yeah.
go over the next 4 weeks. Next week it's Slamboree 98 with Sting and Giant versus the Outsiders. In 2 weeks it's Over the Edge 98 with Dude Love versus Steve Austin. Vince McMahon's the referee. In 3 weeks it's Great American Bash 98. That bad boy has Stone Cold. I'm sorry, Sting versus Giant. And
Hmm.
then in 4 weeks, it's King of the Ring '98. It's Stone Cold versus Kane and Mick and Mankind Undertaker Hell in a Cell. What are you looking forward to?
We're still gonna go with Slamboree right now.
Okay, I'm looking forward to King of the Ring now that we're so close. I
I mean, I am curious what other matches were on the show. I do know The King
Actually,
of
a
the
pretty
Ring
good show.
finals.
So I'm jumping ahead, but my friend recorded that show. Didn't tell me that anything. He just said, the big thing was just Austin lost the belt, and I'm like, oh.
Hmm.
From what I'm like, the matches on it are pretty good, like pretty interesting. And then I get to that match, and I'm fast forwarding to see what happens with Austin, and suddenly I'm like, what the fuck did I just see? Is that for real? And then I play it, and I'm like, this is gonna change everything.
Yeah.
Nothing's
It,
gonna be the same.
no,
And
it did.
it was because it was like I didn't just see what I saw. Like I didn't that's that they didn't do that. And then
Yeah.
they fucking did it. And then they did it again. And then they did it again.
Yeah,
And
several times.
and I brought the VHS tape to my friend's house, and he made me rewind it like 3 or 4 times. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. And I think that match was it for WCW. I think that was one of the things because it was like, oh, WWF isn't fucking around. They're gonna kill someone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not gonna get into that. That's another can of worms. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's we'll get to more into it in June. It is definitely not only a life-changing moment for Mick Foley, Mankind, but for fans, for the way we look at wrestling now to this day. There's just so much that like that match ends up changing about what we know about wrestling and like you said, what we how we view it now.
yeah. So interesting, but we got time. We got a lot more to cover before we get there.
Plenty of time.
So Kyle, what do you got to plug?
All the character selects are at the stand from the 21st to the 28th. Please come to the 28th to March 3rd. Not March 3rd, March 7th. We have so many, and then more on the way. So come check us out.
Also, we didn't go over this, and I want to do a tally next week. What did you prefer in April, WWF or WCW? I'm gonna go with Spring Stampede over Unforgiven. What do you
Oh
think?
yeah, no, I'm gonna think the same. I think Spring Stampede. I mean, I think Unforgiven was a two-match show. At the end of the day, the first Inferno match, and then just watching Austin and Foley brawl. Spring Stampede, the WCW, to its credit, has an incredible undercard for the most part, and then as you get further up into the card, it starts to kind of peter out. But at least those undercard matches compared to the Outlaws and the Legion of Doom and whatever other matches that were there, they are not as good as like a Chris Jericho versus a Dean Malenko or an Eddie Guerrero or things like that. They're just not.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So yeah, it's so funny because this is the year where WWF beats them, and so far three out of the 4 months, WCW's had a better show. So we'll see what happens in May. But
Yeah.
all right. So that's the podcast. Please follow us, Ray Goots Ray Goots comedy, Goots Wrestling Pod. As you can see, I'm feeling a lot better than last week. We talked a lot more this week. Sorry for rushing through Unforgiven, but this had to be done. And but I'm spent now. We will see you next week or fucking Glenbury. See you then.